A new video game release can cost anywhere from £10 for an indie title to up to £90 for a AAA game with its season pass. Games are expensive, it's why I don't review them. I need that money for food and rent and bribing judges. But that's not always the case, as there are many free-to-play games readily available on the Xbox Live Marketplace, and they allow you to download and get straight into the action without spending a single penny. So today on Total Cult Gaming, I'm going to be having a look at just 5 free-to-play games available right now. Now I should say a little bit about free-to-play and what that involves. Now these are usually MMOs or multiplayer games with a certain amount of free content and a certain amount of paid content. You're never actually required to spend any real money to play the game, but more often than not, if you want those big guns or that sweet looking character skin, it's going to be locked behind a paywall. Now this is a good time to point out that if you're a parent with a young child who plays on the same console as you, it's worth putting restrictions on your purchasing. There have been news stories in the past about some kid racking up a couple of thousand in extra content on their parents' credit card, as these games have no upper spend limit. Also worth noting is that most of these games will also require Xbox Live Gold to play online. Now this list is in no particular order of preference, so starting off, Star Trek Online. Now, unless you've been living under a rock for the last 50 years, you know what Star Trek is, and if you're a fan of any of the series or films, then this is certainly worth a look. Now this game has actually been going for several years on PC, but only recently seen a console release. Set 30 or so years after the events of Voyager, you start the game with a choice of either Federation, Klingon Empire, or the Romulan Republic. Now the character creation is very comprehensive, with a choice of races from each faction and character classes with different abilities. Ground combat can feel a little clunky, as mapping a PC-based MMO to a console always leaves a bit to be desired. Space combat, on the other hand, has a good balance of feeling visceral and explosive, while also tactical, allowing for your chosen character to play to their strengths. You can also party up with friends, and up to 5 of you can share missions and fleet battles, or just drop into a bar and play Dabo. There's over 100 missions too, so along with side activities and random events, the game is not stingy with its content. However, if you want to be competitive in PvP, then expect to hit some pay-to-win wall of higher ranked ships, and they can cost you anywhere from £5 to £20 individually, or up to 80 quid for a bundle of ships. Now many customization options are also only available for those who pay. My current dilemma is whether or not to spend a £5 on a pair of thigh highs for my Orion slave girl. Next up, we've got Killer Instinct. Now Microsoft played this one in a very interesting way after acquiring the IP from Rare. Billed as a launch title for the Xbox One, the base game is free but only has one playable character, Jago. The full roster of characters was released as a season pass, or can be purchased individually. By using the seasonal structure of releasing new characters, Killer Instinct has done away with the need for sequels and is currently on its 3rd season, with a roster of 25 characters, all available in one bundle for £45, and they include Xbox characters like the Arbiter from Halo and General Ram from Gears of War. Now the best thing about Killer Instinct is its speed and online connectivity, which has a very low latency on Xbox One, allowing for each hit of the super speedy combos to land with certainty. Killer Instinct also saw a release on Windows 10 this year. Now although it's had its share of bugs and teething problems, it does feature multiplayer crossplay between the two platforms. Third in line, we've got Hawken. Now in terms of gaming genres, first-person shooters are very much in the majority, and recently many of them have been released as a full-price AAA game but only feature online multiplayer. Hawken does away with the price tag and gets you straight into the fray in this first-person mech shooter. It allows you to jump straight into PvP and PvE team battles with a lot of fun to be had. There's a variety of different classes, each with their own progression tree to the next mech in its class, and levelling them up and purchasing new ones can be accomplished in-game without spending money on microtransactions. But obviously shelling out some real world cash can get you into those higher grade war machines faster. There are bundle packs available with a variety of mechs, or you can buy in-game currency to spend how you choose, and many of the game's microtransactions are purely cosmetic, with skins, emotes and cockpit decorations, which are essentially useless, but they're if you really want a pot of stale noodles in your mech. Next up, we've got World of Tanks. Now what can I say? Drive tanks. Kill tanks. This 30-player online battle fest combines some of the slickest online gameplay mechanics with stunning graphics and visuals that border on tank porn. The different classes of tanks rely heavily on teamwork, from the light yet fast tanks that can nip in and out while tagging enemies, to the slow artillery units who use those tags to decimate their enemies from afar, and then you got the heavy tanks that just steamroller everything in their path. The maps are huge,
seriously huge. There's detailed scenery coupled with excellent sound design. Much like Hawken, it's possible to grind your way through the class trees of the different machines, or you can buy bundles of tanks and in-game currency, which can then be used for equipment, consumables, or cosmetic skins. The matchmaking generally tries to balance the player levels, but as it's been out for quite some time, newer players can expect a solid spanking on their first few games. Now, originally a PC game, it was ported over to 360 and then the Xbox One. Now, when I made the upgrade from my 360, I was very happy to find that my save file had come along for the ride, meaning that I didn't have to start the grind all over again on the Xbox One version. Last up, we've got Warframe. Now, Warframe shares many of the same traits as Destiny, albeit in third person. Now, with an alien threat encroaching on the solar system, you take control of a custom-built space ninja called a Tenno, masters of the Warframe battle armour. Taking on missions from your orbiting ship, which also doubles as your crafting hub, you can team up with several other players to play through a staggering amount of content across the entire solar system. Although the menu system can be somewhat obtuse and convoluted, the actual gameplay itself is smooth and fast with a varied arsenal of ranged and close combat weaponry, coupled with a degree of mobility seldom found in games of its type. Warframe is a joy to play. The comparison to Destiny is obvious, but it's worth pointing out that Warframe actually came out on PC long before Destiny did. Now, although microtransactions for the in-game currency are plentiful, none of the actual gameplay content has ever had a price tag attached, and has seen numerous updates and expansions available to all players. So those are 5 free-to-play games that are just the tip of the iceberg. There's currently over 20 games on the Xbox Live Marketplace that can be downloaded and played without spending any actual money, with the exception of the Xbox Live subscription fee for online games. Other games to note are Neverwinter, which is an MMO based on the Forgotten Realms setting of Dungeons & Dragons, DC Universe Online, a superhero MMO based in the popular DC Comics universe, Smite, a 5v5 fast-paced MOBA with a fantastic art style, and Magic Duels, the latest offering in the Magic the Gathering card game franchise. And there you have it, a whole slew of free games for you to try with literally something for everyone. So what are you waiting for? Get downloading and game on.